Morning, Brett. How are you this morning?
Thank you, Jane.
Brett, it's now been, what, 6 months that you've been with Jan Ford?
Yep, just on 6 months, yes.
Yeah. Just share with me your experiences and how you're finding working at Jan Ford Real Estate.
I've actually loved it. It's a unique bunch of people, and it's a really unique atmosphere as far as the family sort of atmosphere in there, how much a united team they are and things like that. What I've enjoyed is bringing, say, a more professional real estate outlook into the sales department in particular, and we're starting to see the results of that.
That's wonderful. You've got a long background in real estate?
Too long. Way too long to admit to here, but yes, coming up for 25 years in about 6 weeks' time.
Now, Brett, your position at Jan Ford Real Estate is manager licensee.
Yes.
Now, you've also been with different companies and with franchise groups. Can you just tell us a bit more about what you've picked up from those groups and who they were?
Yeah, well, I started my real estate career in a family business, and we took that from simply an independent office into a major Australia-wide franchise group. Ultimately, the business was sold, and then I went and joined the Ray White organisation, and within about 18 months, the office that I was working for opened a secondary office, and they put me in there as the licence manager to run that. Working with Ray White was a wonderful experience because of their sheer size of offices throughout Australia, and also the fact that their training is second to none, and they really taught me what real estate's about. And it's not as simple as simply listing a house and waiting for a buyer to come along. There's a lot more involved in making sure you get the market to the property, and then by doing that, that's how you're maximising your market price. The more people interested in the property, the higher price you're going to get for it at the end of the day regardless. And that's a unique learning curve to actually have the penny drop on that scenario and working out how to get the market to the property.
Brett, I've had a long experience in real estate as well, and I had a long time with Ray White over in Queensland, and like you, I learnt about real estate. The main thing I think I learnt through that training, and also through some of the Neil Genman training, was to be 100% honest with an owner, especially about if we can or can't get the price they're wanting. What are your perceptions on that?
The reality is you can't sugarcoat the truth. The truth is the truth, and if a seller truly wishes to sell their property, they've got to listen to what the market's telling them. It mightn't be what they want to listen to, may not be what they want to hear, but our job is to tell them truthfully what the market's saying. The flip side to that is quite often we can achieve a higher result from what they truly expect by putting in different marketing strategies and that sort of thing, which goes back to what I said before, that you must bring the market to the property.
I remember one guru who taught me about real estate said a big lesson. She had a house that had been on the market for a long time without any marketing, and it had been on the market for so long that the market had actually bypassed the price of that house. She came in, took it on as a new listing, put the price up, had the owners engage in a marketing campaign, and ended up getting 15% more than what that house was priced for. And I'm sure you would have seen those things as well.
That's not a unique scenario.
Yes.
Properties do get forgotten about. There's a thing that I was taught, it's called psychological depreciation. The longer a property sits on the market perception is the property's is worth less because the market has passed it by. And quite often they're the unpolished gems that need to be revisited as to the whole approach to how that property is on the market. And quite often you will sell it at a higher price, particularly in a strong market like, say, Port Hedland. The market, if it's brought to that property, will achieve a higher result than if it's simply let to collect dust.
Which leads us on to the Port Hedland market. And what do you see for the future? We're talking now, we're April 2011. How do you think the real estate market is placed at the moment in this town?
The best decision I've ever made is coming to Port Hedland because it is a positive market. It's positively geared, there's a positive vibe about it, and the future's bright. There's so many infrastructure projects underway from the mining sector that's going to generate massive amounts of work opportunities. Unfortunately, the infrastructure from the community side of things is lagging behind, so therefore the housing can't catch up with the demand. So that's just providing strength through our marketplace that will last into the foreseeable future. And currently at the moment we're seeing a lot of pressure on the rentals again. We are leasing a lot of homes out, and the prices are on the rise again. We've seen probably a 10% rise in the last quarter, and it's purely because of supply and demand. The works here, unfortunately, the housing's playing catch up. Now that's good for us over the real estate market.
You mentioned positive gearing, and I know a lot of people ask me what that means. Can you just explain in simple terms what positive gearing is?
Well, most of the Australian market has no idea because they're from what's called negatively geared markets, where the cost of borrowing to purchase a property and the serviceability of those borrowings is, in most cases, a lot higher than the actual income generated by that property. Here, we're in a fortunate situation where the borrowing costs are less than the income generated. So instead of having negative gearing or tax write-offs, we've actually got a positive cash flow situation. So you purchase a property here, and the next problem is how I'm going to spend the extra money.
And what are the average rents here in Port Hedland?
Probably the best barometer for the market would be what we would call the new 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in South Hedland. We're now currently leasing them almost on a daily basis at around the $2,000 a week mark. Port Hedland, if you go to, it's very difficult to get new properties in Port Hedland, but if you go to say Pretty Pool, the rentals there are now pushing 2,500 to say 2,700 per week for a similar sort of home to what we were talking about in South Hedland.
So for $2,500 a week rent, what would a house sell for?
You're probably looking in that range of 1.2 to 1.3 million.
And people are paying those prices?
On a daily basis.
Wow.
But that's the best part about being here.
The other question is, will it last? Will those prices stay at that level?
They will stay at that level until such time that we have a massive release of land. Now, unfortunately, there is no massive release of land on the horizon. We don't have the infrastructure to release thousands of blocks of land. So, on the horizon, no, there's nothing to indicate that the market is going to fall.
And who's paying those crazy rents?
Well, we all must pay those crazy rents or purchase properties of our own. But it's all underwritten by the companies. Most of the leases are taken out in the company's name, and the other alternative is that individual rents the property, but they'd salary sacrifice the rent. So it's tax-wise, it's a big benefit to them.
Right.
That's how we can sustain it. The employees are paying the rents.
So you think it's a good time to be investing in Port Hedland?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something else I wanted to talk to you about, and thank you for that, Brett, is the staff back at Janford Real Estate. You said it was like a family and there was a strong team. I'm holding a certificate here today for Tracy Simpson, who's been with Janford Real Estate now for 10 years. And what do you see as the longevity of the staff in Port Hedland at Janford Real Estate?
Well, Tracy's scenario is unique to Port Hedland in that it's a very transient population as people come, do their job and then move. To have an employee work for you for in excess of 10 years is truly unbelievable. But not only is there Tracy, you've got Donna that's been there on and off for 10 years, we've got Sharon who's been there over 4 years, and then in the sales department there's Lisa Jones and Paula Jenkins. They've both been in there, 5 years now. That's unheard of in this town. Because
it's also unheard of in the real estate industry,
to a big degree.
Yes, so what do you put that down to?
Well, obviously it's a good working environment. They feel safe and secure in their jobs, and they don't see better alternatives out there.
And that flows through to the customer service?
Absolutely, that's what we're renowned for, and that's what we're known for, is that we are an agency that not only gets results, but provides a great level of service and a true appreciation for the people we're working for.
And what's the future for Janford Real Estate?
Oh, the future's bright. The future's very bright, Jan. We need to get out of our little old house and into a nice bigger office so we can all have a bit more room to...
And I hear that's happening?
It is. All the processes are in place, so to speak.
Great. Okay. Well, Brett, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
My pleasure, Jan.
And go and sell houses for Janford Real Estate and enjoy Port Hedland.
I shall. Thank you very much.
Thank you.